Hello friends, this is the fourth lecture of module 7 of the stress management course and I, Shubhra Sinha, your course instructor, welcome you back in this course. This lecture talks about the problems of caretakers. Friends, the discussion about stress related with chronic health problems cannot be completed unless we incorporate the problems and the stress of the caregivers which constantly work to improve the health condition of the patient. Here is the content we are going to cover in this lecture. We will talk about the stress of the caretakers, its source, its impact on the caregiver's health and the possible coping strategies for caregivers. Let us begin with today's discussion. The first thing which we should talk about is the caregiver is also a human being. Suddenly, he gets an additional responsibility of taking care of other people. Mostly in case of chronic illness, the level of impairment of the patient is high. Therefore, the patient may be dependent on the caregiver even for their daily routine tasks. In such conditions, the responsibilities of the caregivers increases manifold, leading them to a more stressful situation. They have to carry out their own responsibility, they have to take care of their own daily routine tasks, including their professional life, including their personal life, and then they have an additional responsibility of another person. So, this is going to cause them emotional strain, physical demand, financial strain and social isolation. All these factors can serve as a source of stress for them. So, let us go through them one by one. First of all, if I talk about the emotional strain, it is really painful to see somebody who is very near to you, with whom you are deeply connected with, in such a bad shape. You have always seen a person completely functional, full of life, confident, carrying out responsibilities so nicely, and suddenly one day the person becomes completely dependent on you. Or the problem which was looking very small is now increasing day by day, causing more and more impairment in the life of the patient. This is not easy to deal with. Psychologically, it is very difficult to comprehend, to accept, and many people even get stuck at this stage only. They do not understand how this happened and what will happen in the future. So, the worries related with the future is another dimension which causes a lot of emotional strain for the caregivers. They may feel overwhelmed with anxiety, they may feel low and also a kind of burnout from the pressures from all sides. Similarly, another factor is the increased workload on them, which requires a lot of physical work. As I said earlier also, along with their responsibilities, along with their tasks, now they have to bear the responsibilities of someone else also. So, this increases their workload many folds. It requires them to work for longer hours, maybe compromising their sleep, their relaxation time, their leisure activities and even in severe cases their food requirements. Caregivers sometimes do not get a proper break to eat a healthy meal, or they may not be in a correct mood state where they find eating a pleasure for them. So, they simply eat whatever they get so that they can keep working. So, taken together, all these complications really exhaust the caregiver also. The level of physical exhaustion is a lot. Then comes the financial strain. If the patient is not financially independent, the financial burden for the treatment of the patient comes to the caregiver only. And this additional financial obligation associated with the payment of medical bills or procuring special diet for the patient or simply a loss of earning due to frequent absence from the workplace builds up a lot of financial strain on the caregiver. And the fourth important cause of problem for the caregiver is the kind of social isolation they feel. Because caregivers are most of the time engaged with the patient, they do not find enough time to socialize, to participate in social activities, to connect with their peer groups, or to participate in activities which are relaxing in general. This may cause them a kind of social withdrawal and later on social isolation, where they are largely cut off their own friend circle from their own family network. This is another cause of stress for the caregivers. They are continuously busy with the same kind of feelings, the same kind of task. They are in a continuously the same kind of mood state, which limits the opportunities of catharsis for them and making their caregiving role difficult. Obviously, when a person suffers from so many complications like these, having outcomes for themselves is very common. These outcomes can be related to their physical health, their mental health, or their financial or social burden. First of all, if I talk about their physical health, they are also likely to develop psychosomatic illnesses, because all these illnesses happen due to high level of stress which continues for a long period of time, leading to repeated stimulation of HPA and SAM axis, suppressing the immune system in the caregiver, increased release of cortisol and adrenaline in the bloodstream of the caregiver, and causing significant cognitive impairments in them, thereby bringing significant negative health outcomes for them also. Moreover, the constant state of worry about the future of the disease, about the future of the patient, or about the future of the other family members who were somehow dependent upon the patient, including the caregiver, is a big factor leading to anxiety, depression, and other kind of mental health complications, including burnouts and even PTSD if some trauma happens later on. Caregivers' burden also include diminishing the standard of the care provided, leading to poor quality of life, where one has very limited or no scope for recreational activities, for social connections, for leisure time activities, for proper rest, and taking 7 to 8 hours sleep. All these things again worsen the situation for the caregivers. Now, what are the remedies? What can be done if we try to alleviate this stress at least up to some level? There are certain things that can be tried. The first one is the use of support networks. If I am not able to participate physically in the social gatherings, I can connect with my friends, with other loved ones over phones or in virtual meetings. At least I can talk to them while taking care of the patient also. This will help me in two ways. One, it will provide me an opportunity for releasing my pent up emotions, my worries, my anxieties. I can talk to my friends, I can talk to other loved ones about what is going on, about how I feel for the patient, how much worried I am regarding the future course of the disease, and how much I am worried about how the life will be if something unexpected happens. Moreover, the second thing which is important here, that if I am in regular touch with my friend circle, with the extended family members, I can get support from them in the time of need. So, if I have something important to do and I want somebody to stand by my side, or even if I feel emotionally exhausted and need somebody to console me, or even I am not able to cook food for myself, so somebody sending me a breakfast or a lunch, all these help can be taken if I am in touch with my friend circle, with my kith and kins. If I am completely cut off from everyone, other people may not be knowing what conditions I am in or what are my requirements, what I need at what particular time. So, it would be difficult for them to help me out whenever I need it. So, maintaining social support network is important. If not physically, at least virtually we can be connected with others. Respite care is another provision. Respite care refers to an idea where we can hire a person for short period of time, which could be of a few hours, of a few days or week. If I have to take leave for something important in my life, suppose I have to finish some important work related assignments for which I need to go outstation, I can ask other person to take care of the patient for that much time against payment. So, at many places seeking help from friends and family members is not possible because they also live at distant places or they are also occupied with their own things, with their own life. So, one can turn towards the professional help which is available for short period of time as and when required. Then self care activities must not be compromised. If I totally stop thinking about myself, I am not eating properly, I am not taking rest, I am not engaging in any kind of exercise or meditation or any other activity which can boost my well-being and quality of life, soon I will face a burnout. So, it is better to find small windows where other people can take care of the patient and I can engage in my own self care activities. And finally, professional support is very much required. While taking care of the patient, one must be in continuous touch with professionals to seek their guidance about the possible ways of taking care of the patient. One can also seek help from counselors and therapists if one feels overwhelmed with anxiety and depression and finds himself or herself not in a position to work anymore. This was all about what happens with the caregivers and how the things can be managed so that they also get a window to engage in recreational activities so that they can also take little rest or their mental health is not compromised. You can see that we have talked about emotional strain, physical demand, financial strain and social isolation as the possible sources of stress for caregivers. We have also talked about the impact of such stresses on their physical and mental health, and of course we talked about certain corrective measures which can ensure a better life for caregivers as well. As always, here are the references and the books which are suggested for further enhancement of your knowledge. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you.